Hey guys, what's up? Once again, welcome back to my channel, The Learning Destinations. I'm your host Avinash, and today I'm going to cover the topic CloudFront. So I try to touch each and every corner of CloudFront within 10 minutes. So those users wasting first time my channel, I request you to please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon as well. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you this highly reliable and secure tool called CloudFront, which is nowadays widely used and dominating in web networking sections. So in 10 minutes, we are going to learn each and everything about the CloudFront. So without any further delay, let's start. So now let's understand the CloudFront from definitions point of view. AWS CloudFront is a web service that accelerates the distributions of your static and dynamic web contents, example, .html, .css, .js, and image files to your user. Guys, here I had mentioned that accelerate the distribution. What does it mean? Let me give you one example. I as a user, and there is a web server. So I as a user make request of object and the web content from that particular web server. The web server, in order to serve my request, respond back to me with that object and the contents. And CloudFront here, it plays the role. Basically, it reduces the latency between the request made and the web content served by the web server. So it reduces the latency. That is the work of CloudFront, and that is the meaning here, accelerate the distributions. And it can be static and the dynamic. It means that the web content, it may be static and the dynamic, and CloudFront works for both static and the dynamic. Now, second point is it delivers the web contents through worldwide network of data center called edge location. It means that CloudFront has its own data center across the globe, across the worldwide, and that we call as a edge locations in technical terms. Guys, here I had mentioned the static and dynamic. You might be wondering that what does it mean? So don't worry guys, my answer is already ready and it will clear your doubts as well. So that is what I have mentioned, that what do you understand by static and dynamic web contents. So static websites are ones that are fixed and display the same content for every user, usually written exclusively in HTML. It means that the static website which keeps serving the same object, it means whenever we log in, the same picture is coming. Let's suppose that we try to access one of the website and it keeps showing us the same pages. However, in dynamic website, what happens that the pages, let's suppose that some image is displaying on that particular pages, it keeps changing, and that is called the dynamic website. Okay guys, so now I am going to discuss about that how exactly the CloudFront works, and that's the reason that these things I am going to show you with the help of two use cases. In first use cases, I am going to show you how the request works when the user make the request to the web server, how it works without the CloudFront. And second use cases, we will see that how the request work when we use the CloudFront. So let's discuss first the case number one. There is a user, and let's assume that this user is sitting in the Asia locations, right? Now it tried to make the request for the web contents, and definitely when the user tries to request the web content, it logins on that particular domain name, right? So domain name entry comes under the DNS services. So in such cases, the entry, let's suppose that there is domain name called www.avinash.com, and this user is trying to access the avinash.com. Avinash.com domain is pointing under the DNS service, which is called the Route 53, and under the DNS service, the address is defined where exactly the domain name is listening. Okay, so let's suppose that this domain name listening on particular address, and finally the request reaches to the web server. The web server may be the S3 bucket or your own HTTP server, right? But in such process, what we will see that when the user make the request, that particular request goes through the complex network. That increases the latency, right? Because it is not possible that whenever the user makes the request, it directly hit to our web server, and it may be the web server, maybe the S3 bucket, or HTTP web server, it may be the EC2 instance. So the user request cannot directly hit to particular web server, right? It has to go through multiple complex networking, and that keeps increasing the latency. Now let's suppose that if these data centers, if these servers are listening under the data centers in Asia zone itself, right? So then there will be less latency, right? But what happens when the user sitting in the Europe region, right? They also try to access the same www.avinash.com, right? For them, again, their request goes through the complex networking, and there will be more latency rather than Asia, because these users is trying to access the content which is under the Asia region. The web server is running under the Asia region. So the user sitting in the Europe, their latency will be larger than the latency user sitting in the Asia regions. Okay. There is a solutions. We can minimize the latency. We can do the low latency. How? We can host our website in multiple regions. It means that we can do the same copy of our web server in Europe region also, but that is costly. Again, guys, you need to pay for all your resources again in Europe region, and that is very costly. So we need to find some smart solutions which increases the scalability, security, and reduces the price as well. And that is what we are going to discuss in case number 2, that how it helps in order to achieve the scalability, low latency, security when we use CloudFront. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show you the case number 2 where I'm going to use the CloudFront, and I'm taking the same example. So this time there is a developer, and currently he has developed one of the web server. These web servers may be the S3 bucket HTTP server, or it may be the HTTP server which is running under the EC2 instances. Now there is a web contents under this web server which are listening. In order to increase the speed of this web server, now developer is introducing CloudFront in his architectures. When you create the CloudFront, you have to create the cloud distribution, which we called it as web distribution as well. Web distributions or cloud distribution is nothing. Basically, when you create the cloud distributions, the CloudFront gives you one of the domain name. This domain name, it can be provided by the CloudFront, or you can use your own customized domain name as well if you have already. Then this cloud configuration, it sends back the informations to the developer, and the same informations you can see under the CloudFront dashboard. After that, this CloudFront distributions, it sends the cloud distributions configuration to the edge locations. And what is the edge locations? Basically, this CloudFront has its own data centers across worldwide, and that we call as a edge locations. Okay, so now in such scenario, what will happen? Let's suppose that there is a user sitting in the Asia. Okay, so Asia, and there is a edge locations also in Asia. So when the Asian users tries to access to these web servers, the contents will go like that. Since the CloudFront has already given one of the distributions link, right? So let's suppose that this image name is abc.jpg. So this time it will come http://cloudfront.net/abc.jpg, and it will be served by the Asia edge locations. Okay, because we are using the CloudFront, and CloudFront has configured the cloud distribution, and simultaneously it sends the information to all its edge locations. These are edge locations across the worldwide. It may be in the Europe, it may be the Asia, it may be the Africa region, it may be the UAE regions, anywhere, right? So whenever the nearest user try to access this web server, the response will be made by the edge location. So the Asian users try to access to these contents, then the request will be made by the Asia edge locations. When the request made by the Europe locations, the request will be served by the edge locations which is under the Europe, and that's how that it reduces the latency and it increases the scalability. It speed up the response process from the web server, and that's how that CloudFront helps us in order to accelerate the distributions of the web contents. And so now let me summarize everything what we have seen in last 8 to 9 minutes. So basically we have seen that the definitions of the CloudFront, and simultaneously we have understand that what is the acceleration distributions inside the CloudFront. We have also understood the static and dynamic website. Finally, we have taken the example of two use cases. In one use cases where we haven't used the CloudFront, and we have understood that how, if we don't use the CloudFront, how the latency increases. Now in second use cases, we have seen that how the CloudFront is set up, how it creates the cloud distributions, and then how it helps us to speed up the web access process through the cloud distribution configurations when the CloudFront send it to the edge location. So I hope now your understanding about over the CloudFront is completely clear, but still if you have any queries, write me in the comment sections and I will answer it there. So guys, now we will understand that why we should CloudFront. Actually, what are the benefit of the CloudFront and why we should use it. The first benefit of the CloudFront is it is available worldwide. It means that its data centers, which we call as the edge location, is available across worldwide. Secondly, the communication is totally encrypted with the customized TLS certificate. It means nobody can steal your data. The communications between the user and the endpoint web server is totally encrypted. It provides DDoS protections with AWS Shield. Simultaneously, it integrates with AWS WAF, which is called Web Applications Firewall, for applications layer protections as well. AWS CloudFront is compliant with a wide range of a standard to ensure delivery of the most sensitive data. We know that, guys, there are various standard certifications. Those are from the DevSecOps background. They easily understand that what does it mean. Like, it is already verified with the several international authority like PCI, HIPAA, ISO 9001, GDMR, and there are many more as well. So there are a lot of advantages, lot of benefit when you use the CloudFront, and we must use CloudFront if we have web servers. That's all for the day, guys. If you have any questions, please don't forget to write me in the comment sections. Any feedback, any suggestions are always welcome. Stay tuned for upcoming lectures. Thank you so much for watching this. I will see you in my next tutorial. Till the time, just start learning and grow your career. And one more request, guys, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and share it with your friends and colleagues. I will see you in my next tutorial. Till the time, bye bye. Thank you so much for watching this. You have a good day.